I know you weren't around for the original one, nor was I, but your car has been at nearly all of the Le Mans Classics, you were telling me. Tell me about the Morgan, please.
The car is a true Le Mans car that raced here in 1962, and it won the 2-litre class that year, so it's a Le Mans winner. Yeah. It carried on racing after Le Mans, and when the Classic was established in 2002, it was back for the first Le Mans Classic, the 40th anniversary of its racing at Le Mans, and it's been at every Classic since, bar one.
And that was due to COVID?
No, it was. I had a bit of an illness issue last year. We couldn't do it, but otherwise.
Well, it's good to see you back.
Thank you very much.
In a very, very special car. I gather you've got a lot of other Morgans and other cars in your collection.
Yeah, we raced Talk 258, as she's known, probably the most famous Morgan. We have a Morgan Streamliner, an SLR that we race in historics a lot. I have a 1993 plus 8 that races in the UK. We raced a modern Aero, 2003 Aero in the British GT Championship for 5 years. So a range of Morgans from 62 to 2002.
But they get used. That's the important thing. They're not locked away in a museum.
No, I'm a great believer in using cars and enjoying the cars and presenting them to the public because they don't always get a chance to see these cars.
That's one of the things that FIVA exists for.
Indeed,
Cars like this, mobile, so people can enjoy them, and the next generation will hopefully take the baton from us and be racing them and maintaining them.
Part of the pleasure is educating people about the cars and keeping the cars running, particularly the older cars, which require more maintenance sometimes, but it's a challenge and it's a pleasure to keep them going.
But the maintenance means that you can keep, as you say, keep them going. You compare to modern cars, chip goes.
I mean, I was of a generation where when you got your first car, you had to know how to fix it and how to keep it running, and you travelled with your toolbox in the boot. These days, the modern cars are very clever, they're very environmentally friendly with low emissions, but if the computer goes wrong, it's impossible to repair by the side of the road.
You've got another very special car in your collection as well, the Lola?
The Mark I Lola is the prototype. It was the very, very first Lola. It was built in 1958 by Eric Broadley, who went on to build cars that won in Formula One, Indianapolis, Le Mans, and it was the first of a great line of tremendous British racing cars. It first raced in 1958. It was on the front row at Goodwood for the TT in 1958 and 1959. It's presented in bare aluminium. Eric Broadley never had time to paint it before it went racing, and it's stayed in bare aluminium to this day.
Brilliant.
Very nimble little car.
So you've got a practice session this afternoon?
We're practicing at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
It's actually more than practicing, it's qualifying.
Oh, right, okay.
So the times we're setting at 3 o'clock this afternoon will establish the grid for the race. Just after midnight, we're back on track for a night session, which really, there may well be people here who haven't raced in the dark before. It's a chance for them to familiarise themselves with the circuit at night. It's deliberately untimed so there is no pressure on people. They can spend the time learning the circuit in the dark.
And you've got to learn to look in the mirrors rather than just down the Multan straight, shall we say.
Indeed, there are huge speed differentials between some of the Lister Jaguars at the front and some of the 1200cc Simcas at the back, and one does need to watch the mirrors, but the driving standards is frankly generally very, very good here, and it's a pleasure to drive.
Well, thank you very much for giving up your time to be interviewed by FIVA. Have a good session, good qualifying. I'll see how you do in the race, and I'd like to see you on Sunday.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. All the very best.